Emmy, and I'm here to talk to you today about what the heck does transform your relationship with food even mean? Sometimes we can get into lingo, and I really want to help explain that today. So to jump in, what am I doing here on my personal page? It's my gift to you because this time of year, it's so prevalent that there's diets all over the place. You might have struggled with emotional eating this holiday season, and I just want to be here of service to help you get some answers around why emotional eating happens in the first place and give you some real tools about what it looks like to be able to heal that. So we're going to be talking in these 30 days together, Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. right here on my personal page. We're going to be talking about the why, the what, the how, all about emotional eating. So please feel free to watch these as much as you want to, as often as you want to, over and over again, and to pull out all the good nuggets here. There's going to be a lot of great info. And then also, I'd love to invite you to share this with somebody who you might know needs this information, and be able to support them this time of year as well. And so for those of you who want to learn more about what it might look like to have some coaching, we'll be able to talk about that too. But this really is about me being able to give you some information to help heal your relationship with food. So let's jump in and talk about this. So these Facebook Lives are going to be available until the end of January, and then I'm going to be taking them down and putting them in my client resource library for my private clients and my Living Blissfully Healthy community, so that they can have those. So you're definitely welcome to check that out if that feels interesting to you as we go through some of this information together. All right, so what the heck does it even mean to transform your relationship with food? So I want you to just imagine going through your days and not obsessing about food. In fact, you go through your day and you don't really realize you want to eat or need to eat until you start feeling that growl in your tummy. And you notice that you have a craving, a desire to want to make some healthy choices. And you find that it's easy. In fact, it's not just easy, it's second nature to want to choose a salad or some vegetables, maybe a healthy source of protein, to have some water. You actually have a feeling that you want to make choices around food you know is going to energize you. And as you are eating your lunch, let's say, you are enjoying the food. You're not beating yourself up and saying, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be eating this. Or you're not feeling out of control. You're actually enjoying the healthy food and saying things like, oh, this tastes really good. I'm glad I made this choice. Or you're just present to your food. And then as you eat your food for lunch, you're finding that, oh, you're naturally connecting with your stomach and saying, I feel satisfied. Not full, but I feel satisfied. And so I don't need any more. And there's no yearning to eat more because the food tastes so good. There's no craving to want to just finish all the food in your plate because it's there. See food, eat food. But you just notice, I can always have more later. And it just comes naturally to you to put your fork down. And when you're done with your meal, you go through the rest of your day and you're thinking about the things that truly matter. Your kids, your work, your energy, yourself, the things that bring meaning to your life, instead of maybe beating yourself up and calling yourself fat and obsessing about food. And then as you go through your day, you continue that process here and there and with every meal. And that's what it feels like to have a different relationship with food, meaning that you're not using food any longer as a way of emotional comfort. Excuse me, grab some water. You're not using it as a source of self-soothing. the way maybe people do with spending or gambling or overworking or staying up and watching Netflix and binging on Netflix. Those are all things that we do, people do, to soothe themselves, to be able to nurture themselves. And so you find that when you have a different relationship with food, it's no longer any of those things. And instead, you actually crave wanting to make choices like move your body because it feels good, in a way that's not perfectionism and it's not punishing. But all of this, it is rooted in a place of I am worthy. I am worthy and I want to do things to take great care of myself out of love for myself, not out of being perfect, not out of it doing it just right, and not out of losing weight. But it is a side effect. So that is what it looks like to transform your relationship with food. So as you are plugging in here, I would love to hear from you. Does this resonate with you? Are you finding that this is something you would like to have in your life? Comment below. And if you can also do me a favor, I just love seeing comments of who is watching these with the replay. So do replay, and then you can feel free to answer these questions as well, so I can see who's live and who's watching the replay. So I love being able to see that. So comment also and tell me where you're seeing this from. Are you in the state of Washington? I'm here in Puyallup, Washington in my new office and inside of Truth Fitness Gym. So loving this new location. It's been such a great collaboration. And so tell me about where you're hearing this from. Are you in the state of Washington? Are you in this area? Are you in another state? Share with me where you're coming from. Okay, so that is the first thing I want to talk about today. I want to keep these very short because I know you guys are having a busy morning and we can only soak up so much information at one time. But I really want you to know that there is hope. No matter how many different things you might have tried, if you've tried everything under the sun and you just seem to gain weight, you just seem to lose weight, then gain it, lose weight and gain it, I so get it. That was so me. You can see my picture right there. I dieted my way up the scale to a point where I was 50 pounds heavier than where I'm at right now. And I was depressed and struggling with emotional eating. And I had tried everything under the sun myself and finally found my own path. And I've created my own program to be able to help thousands of clients since my own transformation heal emotional eating. And so I want to be bringing some of those pieces from my Living Blissfully Healthy program to you here. So we've talked about what the heck does transform your relationship with food. So I hope that you can imagine that. I've had a couple really great new clients come in, and one of them said, you know, I just don't want eating to feel like work. And it shouldn't feel like work. Eating healthy, it should not feel like a part-time job that you're taking on. It should not be something you don't look forward to. We want you to find ways of eating food that tastes amazing. And in fact, having a new relationship with food, a healthy relationship with food, it actually doesn't even start with what are you going to eat. It's not about the food. It is about transforming what's inside and why you might be compelled to emotionally eat. Why is emotional eating happening? That's what we need to figure out. We need to figure out why. And so tomorrow I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. And I'm going to talk for the next couple of minutes before we end this first morning daily boost with sharing with you another important component. And this might be something that feels a little shocking, and it's necessary. It's necessary. So as you're listening to this, I just invite you to take a deep breath. And what I would love to share with you is part of emotional eating and or any other type of behavior attachment that creates unwanted symptoms. So if you feel like, oh, I hate it that I do this, but I'm still finding I can't stop myself from doing this. So emotional eating. I hate that I emotionally eat. I hate this weight that I'm at. I hear a lot of clients say, but I can't stop eating. I feel out of control with food. There's something else going on emotionally that needs to be healed, and I can help you do that. And so this first question I'd love to invite you to think about is, do you want to fully be alive here on this earth? I know that there's tough stuff that happen in life. Absolutely get it. I have been there, and I know that's a tough question. But the reality is, emotional eating in some part is a way to not feel. It is a way to want to numb out and not really fully be alive. So that's the first question, is decide that you want to fully be alive here on this earth. And that means that you're making a conscious decision. You're no longer going to choose to numb out with food. So you are worthy of having the happiest, most wonderful life, no matter what it takes for you to have a healthy, happy life. You are worthy of that, no matter what it takes. And so if emotional eating is stifling your joy in life, I would love to be able to support you through these 30 days of daily boosts. Or if you would like to look at some private coaching, I would love to be that source for you. But it starts with this question, that you decide that you want to fully show up and be alive here on this earth, and decide that you want to be your full expression, giving yourself permission to be your full expression in this world. Okay, so those are the two things I wanted to give you today to marinate on. If you're feeling like, I would like to explore this a little bit more, but maybe you're not quite sure, I do want to invite you. I have a link here in the description that you can click and be a part of this $97 Jumpstart Your Mindset program. It's just a 30-day program. And that way you can just see if this might be something you would want to do. You're going to get the 30 days of daily boosts. You'll get all of these recordings for another month longer after this ends, and you'll get a 1-hour private coaching session with me so we can jumpstart your mindset. So 2020 does not need to be a repeat of the last decades that you might have been dieting your way up the scale and struggling with emotional eating, because another diet won't fix the emotional eating. We've got to do the emotional work. The emotional eating will fall aside, and the weight loss will happen, and it will be sustainable, and it won't feel like work to maintain your weight or to even release the weight, and you'll have more happiness and joy. So if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to reach out to me or click the link, and I'll look forward to being a source for you, a resource for you. All right, so until tomorrow morning, please comment below on the questions that I asked, and let me know if you're watching the replay. And I'm going to say this every time, and I'm going to invite you to say it once you know it. So Blissfully Healthy ladies, if you're watching, say it with me. You know what I'm going to say. Until we chat again tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. right here on this personal page, you are invited to stop dieting and start living, because a blissfully healthy lifestyle does not have an expiration date, and you are worth it. Have a wonderful Monday, and I'll talk to you tomorrow morning.